again to another AgroBuzz, our weekly agricultural program right here on Doreen's Coffee Break. Now, for many years, Jamaica has been working to export as many of our local produce and products as possible, since this is a valuable part of our foreign exchange earnings. And because the products are so great, we've got to share them with the world, yes. Now, government has recognized that the expansion of the export market requires deliberate strategies and a structured approach to agricultural production, and has therefore been implementing as many strategies as possible to grow the export sector. One of the facilities that help to ease the way for Jamaica's exports into overseas markets is the PreClearance Programme. Now, this program is managed by the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. Now, the head of that branch is Miss Sanniel Wilson, and she's our very special guest this morning on AgroBuzz. So very special. Good morning to you, Miss Wilson. How's the morning?
Hi, good morning, Doreen, and good morning to listeners as well.
Right. Now, tell us some of the countries to which Jamaica's fabulous products go.
Well, Doreen, our top 3 countries that we actually export agricultural produce to include the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Cayman is also included. We do export a lot of agricultural produce to Cayman, and we do export some to the rest of the Caribbean country.
Great, great. Now, there's a long list of produce that we export. Tell me about some of those.
All right. So, in fact, anybody wants to export any agricultural produce to a country, the first thing they do is that they get the market, they get an import permit from that country, and you bring it to plant quarantine, and we will inspect and certify to ensure that the product can actually enter that country. However, we have about 50 agricultural produce that is actually pre-cleared to enter into the United States of America. It ranges from shea, yam, thyme, just about, as I said, Doreen, it's about 50 different commodities. There's a long list of actual products that anybody wants to export into the United States can just come to the Ministry of Agriculture, the Plant Quarantine section, and we will be able to advise them.
Okay, so what exactly happens during the pre-clearance program? Let me just get through ABCs of what takes place.
All right, during the pre-clearance program, so the first thing it is that the person must have a certified registered packing house, meaning you must have someone that you're packing the product. We don't accept things just from the farm on the ground.
And it doesn't have to be from your farm. You could have somebody else packaging it for you, but it must be certified.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. It must be certified. You come into us and you say to us, you present a letter to us and say to us that John Brown is packing for you. We go and we certify and ensure that John cannot you're packing for you. We also give it a certification and you can go through. But once we inspect the produce as well, we certify if it is that there's need for us to treat the produce, we also treat the produce. Once we certify it here in Jamaica under the USDA pre-clearance program, then it is supposed to go through, meaning once it gets to the United States, it should not be sitting on the port for any long period of time. That means we ensure that our agricultural produce actually get to the market in the United States and have a longer shelf life.
Right. So I would imagine how long you have the produce before you bring it there is a factor. If it's going to be, it needs time for traveling and clearance and everything. So you can't, for instance, like we bananas or stuff like that, we can't make sure that them too ripe to send to you.
That is quite true, Doreen. So what we do is that we not only just look at the physical infrastructure, but depending on what it is that they intend to export, we give them advice. We may say to them, this is likely to be, to have a fungal growth. You may need to treat with a post-harvest chemical. This is the particular chemical that is allowable in the United States or in the UK. So we provide all that advice to ensure that once the goods leave Jamaica, it should actually enter into these markets free of any hindrances.
So before anybody even starts to think of exporting, they need to come to your pre-clearance part of the ministry and find out all the things that they need to do.
Yes, Doreen, and that's quite right. We want persons before they even start planting. Think about your market, because sometimes you may even use a pesticide, Doreen, that is not accepted for the U.S. market at all. So if it is that you're start conceptualizing in your mind that you want to grow something and you want your market is the United States, approach us.
Yes.
We will be able, along with the Rural and Agricultural Development Authority, provide you with the relevant guidance to ensure everything flows freely once you're at the point of export.
Right, great. Now, here you did mention the Cayman Islands there with the U.S. and the U.K. and Canada for exporting. Please tell us about some new opportunities coming up.
Right. For the Cayman Island, we have a protocol that allows us. I don't know if you remember, Doreen, when people used to just stand up at the airport and carry anything to Cayman.
Yes.
Well, that had to stop because we had a lot of interception that affected, the Jamaica brand in general. And so what we have is about 21 agricultural produce that, again, is you would refer to them as also being pre-cleared. Once it is that they actually abide by the guidelines here in Jamaica, they would also go through. What we're now seeking to do, Doreen, is to engage the Cayman Department of Agriculture to expand that 21 list to maybe include the other fruits and vegetables that would have been on our 50 commodity list for the United States.
Okay. Really sounds good. So you can't just take in anything there. You have to make sure that you're cleared first. And even if you have a pre-clearance, Ms. Wilson, you need to be able to still inspect the produce, right?
We have to inspect them because once it is that there's any inspection on the product, then you will realize that we run the risk of being suspended from a market. So it's important for us to ensure that the goods going to the country actually has quarantine seal of approval, so it goes through quite freely.
So you're a very, very important part of the exporting market.
We're just a part. We really look and think so exporters are our most important.
But to get through as a successful exporter, we need to go through you. You people are very important.
Yes, we are. Indeed, we are.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Ms. Sanniel Wilson, for being on a very special guest this morning and continue doing the fine work because we need to get our fabulous products out there to the world and everybody know that, hey, what we grow here is just superb and we have to share it with them, but we have to go through you first,
No problem. Thank you to Doreen.
Right. Very special guest this morning, Ms. Sanniel Wilson of the Plant, Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch, telling us about the Ministry's pre-clearance program for the export of produce so that we can work to expand the export sector. And also remember to continue to support our farmers by eating what they grow as they grow what we eat. And for more information on the work of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, you can visit their websites at moa.gov.jm and miic.gov.jm. And of course, you can also follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook. And see you again next week for another AgroBuzz.
This is